talk about all of the changes that are happening across the world. And it's just an amazing time to be alive and to be able to share this knowledge. Dave, let's start right at the top. You're a nonconformist, as you said earlier. So am I. And I love it. And that's why we're brothers. Everything in sports is nonconformity now. It seems like everything has changed. Let's start right at the top, man. Let's start with the transfer portal. What the hell is it? Why is it good? Why is it bad? Whatever. In your opinion, go ahead. You're the man.
Well, I mean, the transfer portal, I think it is a good means to an end. I think that for all those years that coaches left when they recruited a player, and then the player goes to that specific college, and then he could not transfer for a year. So he's sort of stuck. And I think maybe that was the seed that this really came from. But the transfer portal can be beneficial, and it also can be a deterrent to an athlete. I mean, the problem with athletes today is, like, I was on a radio program yesterday out of Grand Rapids, Steve Project's, and I'm on about once a month. And I continue to say a lot of today's athletes, starting in 4th and 5th grade, they have their rear ends kissed, and they're just used to silver spoon and mouth, no matter what family they come from, whether it's a one-parent family, whether it's a wealthy family. If they're a strong athlete, they're already getting looked at by colleges in 5th, 6th, 7th grade. And when they go to a university and things don't work out like they think the grass is greener on the other side. And a lot of times it's not. I've always said, if things aren't working out, what you need to do is get better and work harder and get with your coaches. And what am I doing wrong? Instead of jumping ship and bailing and think it's going to be better somewhere else. I don't know of too many players that have gone into the transfer portal and they've blown up at that university that they've gone to. There's handfuls, but they just think, like Michigan State had 27. I understand why Michigan State guys would leave. I mean, if they were recruited by Mel Tucker and the garbage that he brought to the forefront, and then you have a new head coach, but even before that, not knowing who the coach was, something like that, I understand. But a lot of these players, I think they split because they're not getting the adequate playing time that they believe they need instead of working harder to get better. And as far as NIL, I mean, it's been a topic of conversation almost like as long as, should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame? Should they get paid? And I think they should, but I think it's really going to get out of control when you have donors that, I just go back. We're in 2 years now into the NIL. July was 2 years, this past July 2023. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to be policed. I don't know how this is going to, last year, Bryce Young out of Alabama, who's with the Panthers now, he made the most. He made $3 million. Now you have like a second string offensive lineman that could make $2.5, $2 million, $3 million a year. And it's not just money. It's real estate. It's jewelry. It's vacations. It's homes. It's automobiles. I mean, anything can go in NIL. So it's really the mid-major schools, the smaller schools, they're really going to take a bash, and they already have, because these other athletes will split and go where they think they can get paid. And there's nothing wrong with getting paid, but you also have to be a realist about it too. And I think that's what some of the lower end Big Ten schools are going through. I think that's what MAC schools are going through. I mean, you look at the Big Ten now, and you're going to have Pac-12 schools that are going to be coming here, and Michigan State's going to have to go to the West Coast now to play all the other schools that are coming here: UCLA, USC, Oregon State, and it's just nuts. I mean, the college landscape is just, from our, when we were just talking about this yesterday, there's 41 bowl games. There used to be like 6 maybe bowl games tops. I mean, there's the toilet bowl, there's the crap bowl. I mean, they're just stupid bowls, and there's like 1 or 2 people, they're probably making a profit out of it. Nobody goes to these games, nobody watches these games, and it's just getting to a point where it's just stupid.
Learned it all from you, bro. And I'm going to talk to the camera right now and say, this dude brought me in. I didn't know diddly crap. I was sweating so hard when I was in the studio with him, and having Dave in as a regular, we can rehash so many stories about when I'd go into his studio. I mean, we don't
The
have
time
time.
you were swearing and stuff.
Oh my God.
Well,
Oh,
I mean, how many producers? What about when Chase was doing
oh,
the 6 o'clock morning deal?
oh, the morning show.
I think that time period in my life, that 6 months that he was I think God was punishing me for anything that I might have did dishonest in the neighborhood to people at Central Michigan University. Not dishonest, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go to one of your. What is one of your favorite stories that we used to talk about on radio that used to make me laugh my ass off? It was
You mean the leeches?
the leeches was one of the best. I mean, the Tim Stout with his. We don't have the soundbite for his locking his bike and getting his
Yeah,
any of that kind of. I'm gonna go to the leeches though. I want to talk
he's
about.
not he's one of the ones just in the last few weeks it got back to me that he was the one that he still is, that he never liked me on the radio. And you know why, don't you? It's like I just said the word.
Exactly. Yeah, let's roll. Here we go. I'm gonna do my Brock read. Where the fuck is it?
When Carol and I came into this area, we did an impromptu I guess you could say drive in to WEIS Radio that's in downtown Center, Alabama. We met the owner, 2018 Alabama broadcaster Jerry Baker. We stayed in touch with him. Finally, I had to go back to work, to a brick and mortar kind of situation. Plus, like I said, I still do the sales for Lansing Town Square Media. But Jerry hired me. I went to work in June. A lot of people in Lansing do not know that. I am the afternoon newsman for WEIS Radio, 100.5 FM, and it's simulcast on AM. It's WEISradio.com. You can find it. And I do 4 and 5 o'clock newscasts that would be 5 and 6 o'clock Eastern time. And again, all my editing was done by producers and Brock Palmbush. And I just didn't think, when Jerry hired me to be the newsman, I was a little bit freaked out because I didn't think I could do this. And he worked so hard with me. It wasn't one of those guys saying, "Oh my God, Dave, you don't know how to do this yet? What the hell? What is wrong with you?" He took me under his wing and he showed me how to do it with all his years. And I can do this job pretty damn well now. I have to travel to different areas, different towns around in Cherokee County. That's where I live, in Cherokee County. And I know all the mayors now. I know all the chief of police now. I do stories on their these meetings, and I work with some really good people. Not that I didn't work with good people in Lansing, because I worked with, top-notch people. I did. Again, it's a different kind of mentality in news from sports. When I was in sports radio, I was, like stand-up comedy, like in Second City. This I can't. I have a regimented way to talk, and it's funny because we do local happenings, we do the news, local and state, and then we do the inmate report as part of that news. Then we do the obituaries, the people that pass away from Cherokee County. So it's about a 15-minute broadcast, and that's where it is. And he has just had a lot of positive reflection and a lot of positive rub on me, and I couldn't be happier. There's a lot of people in Lansing that don't know it, that I do that, but that's what I do. And we do other stuff down here too, but it's mostly that, and of course the selling of Michigan State and high school sports with the two people that I deal with up in Lansing, Michigan.